Aloha and welcome to this module on data model design and implementation. This is a 2-week module. At the end of it, you will be a RadGrad Data Model ninja. You'll have defined courses, opportunities, tags, most importantly, a variety of users who are using all of those constructs to represent their ICS or computer engineering degree program. So how are we going to do that? Well, a few ways. The first thing is I've built a sample Meteor application that shows how a RadGrad data model can be built with some very sample data that isn't realistic at all. What you'll be doing in this module is building more realistic data. And you can watch this screencast and go through the rather extensive README and really learn. You should basically know how every line of code in this application works, because it's a very simple application and focuses on the libraries necessary to build the data model. And so as background for that, you may want to, or you probably should, look through this page, which has an overview of the data model, illustrating both the Mongo collections that implement the data model as well as some entity relationship diagrams which represent how the entities relate to each other. This page on Atmosphere provides information about the API or the JavaScript functions such as radgrad.course.define, which you'll call in order to define various entities. So those are the three things together that should provide everything you need in order to manipulate the RadGrad data model. And then we have 3 experiences. The first one is a real simple one, just kind of play around with the data model, make some simple changes. But the next 2 are the more important ones. This first one is to create a set of about 200 data entities using the data model structure, and I will be assigning each of you to several of these groupings of entities. And your task, once assigned, is to go out and define these entities in a repository that we've defined called the ICS data model, as opposed to the data model example. So this is the empty repository into which you're going to commit files to build the data model. And then this will take us about a week, and that's going to be defining courses, opportunities, tags, degree goals. Then once all that's implemented, we'll define users, or specifically students, who actually will, utilize courses, actual instances of courses, instances of opportunities, and so forth, in order to define what they want to get out of a computer science or computer engineering degree. And we're going to do this via these idea of personas. So we have a newbie one, a maker one, a graduating BS with a 3.5 GPA. So I've defined a few of these kind of standard archetypes for students, and then you'll go ahead and you'll flesh out these archetypes with more specific information about their degree goals and interests and grades in particular classes and the classes they've taken and so forth. And you'll define 8 students each. Okay, you'll define one of each of these personas, as well as creating some kind of hypothetical student, more or less based upon your own background. So there'll be somebody in here that'll be kind of like you. All right, so that's the data model design and implementation module. I'm really excited about this. At the end of it, hopefully we'll have populated the system with a fairly robust set of data entities or instances that we can now use to start playing around with the user interface and understanding what we can actually do with the system.